What's a guan?
That's a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a guan? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit it down, shine your lights
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Hey, what a guan?
Hi, I am Kendi Pang.
What a guan? What's a guan?
That's a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a guan? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
That's a guan, pa. What a guan?
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Tonight in CVM News, earthquake rattles Jamaica again, magnitude 4.6. Hope relit in Denham Town after recent tragedy. Locals welcome the support. Woman stabs man at police station, now charged. In international news, Israel launches fresh strikes on Tehran. For Inspired Jamaica, looking back as the program gets ready to widen its scope within weeks from a children with health issues only platform. Of course, we'll have sports for you a bit later. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Sunday, March 1, 2026. I am Carolyn Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. And we start on a somewhat shaky note as a 4.6 magnitude earthquake shocked sections of Jamaica at 8:34 Sunday morning. The epicenter was reportedly around 10 kilometers northeast of Stony Hill, St. Andrew, at a depth of 16 kilometers. According to the earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies, the tremor was not limited to St. Andrew, as it was also felt in Kingston, St. Catherine, and parts of Clarendon. Several aftershocks were also later recorded. Now, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management advises there have been no reports of injuries or major damage, though assessments are ongoing. This is the third felt quake in Jamaica since the start of 2026. The earthquake unit continues to monitor the situation and will provide updates if additional information becomes available. Meanwhile, in noting the country's seismic vulnerability, ODPEM reminds the public earthquakes occur without warning and encourages Jamaicans to remain prepared. A St. James woman who attacked a man with a knife while at a police station is to face the courts. 28-year-old Krista Zia Cheng of a Mount Salem address was reportedly at the Mount Salem police station on February 15, filing a report against a gentleman. It's reported that while doing so, she saw the said gentleman and in a fit of rage, she attacked him with a knife. The police intervened and quelled the situation. The injured man was taken to hospital where he was treated and released in a stable condition. Ms. Chen was officially charged with wounding with intent on Friday, February 27. There has been a glimmer of hope for some in Denham Town who were only days prior left mourning the deaths of a 3-year-old and his father who were gunned down in the area. The gloom was tempered when their political representatives stepped in effecting the lighting activities through the power company, helping locals to again see their way through the darkness around them.
He's not pointing to the sky, but what now has become a symbol of hope. Around 30 to 40 streetlights repaired and erected in Denham Town, Kingston, on Saturday. Councillor Dallin Gale says since the tragic passing of the father and son, he and the MP Desmond McKenzie took steps to spark a fresh hope and life among the people.
The Jamaica Public Service is here, where they are renewing the street light that were out for a while, pruning some trees that were hanging over the street lights, so persons can feel more sense of safety walking in the night, because the streets were more jet dark. Yes, so
How many street lights were out?
I would say across the community with defects and all of that, I would have estimated to like a 30 to 40 street light estimated that were out across the community.
Even what was the recent crime scene felt the effect of light.
There was a post, but it was defective, so they have repaired that one as well, and the persons in that vicinity is also really appreciative of the intervention.
A seemingly small gesture to some, but with widespread positive impact on many who call this community home.
I'm feeling a bit better because the street is bright up, but I know it was before, and the cleanup, they're doing a good job. What was it like? I did scared. I'm afraid for walk at night.
But no?
No, I can't walk because the light is on the street.
It was very dark at night.
Dark.
And very dark. So sometime I was praying long ago to see if the street lights and the light them could fix so that they have more clarity of seeing the road or anybody walking on the road.
Okay, no, it's been fixed by the MP and the council. How do you feel about it?
I'm very happy about it.
It's an answered prayer, a cleanup initiative, a fun day Sunday, and heightened security presence for an extended period.
Since Saturday, there were a 72-hour curfew that come to end Wednesday morning rather. But since then, persons taking time out on the street. I must say a big thanks to the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the JD for their increased presence in the community. So persons feel that sense of reassurance that the ground is a bit safe because they are here more in numbers.
So more police and soldiers?
Yeah, man. So more police and soldiers. The divisional headquarters have sent in more police to support the zone of special operation rather and their initiative in the zone itself.
He also praised the locals for their support of the police so far. Nika Lewis, CVM News.
Member of Parliament Isat Buchanan is expanding discussions on previously addressed concerns regarding land tenure in eastern Portland. The Port Antonio Bypass project and at least 3 notices served from the base of the latest contention under the Land Acquisition Act. Kevin Black has that CVM News follow-up.
Key area of that respect is to stop calling people squatters and give credit to people who have been on lands, if it's private, 12 years or more, that assist them with getting titles, and if it's even government and they've reached the 60-year threshold over time.
That was the People's National Party's Isat Buchanan on the brink of his election day win in Portland Eastern during the general election in September 2025, expressing his stance on land acquisition within the parish. Residents in Eastern Portland have received Section 3 notices under the Land Acquisition Act, a legal step signaling the government's intention to acquire land for public purposes. According to MP Buchanan, the notice is part of the formal process and applies whether or not residents physically receive or review the document.
Let's talk about Section 3. It is a notice, whether you say you get it or not, whether you looked at it, it is gazetted, there are properties, and I have files for a lot of you. So one of the most compelling ones is that you have your granny and your great-grandfather buried on structures, and you grow there, and that's where your entire life and existence is.
He explains that residents without registered titles may still have legal grounds to claim ownership through adverse possession once they can prove long-term, exclusive occupation and submit affidavits to the National Land Agency.
If you're on a piece of land, either government own it or the person who own it gone a foreign long time and not coming back. You are there to the exclusion of everybody else. A fair land if 12 years pass, a fair land if 60 years pass. No matter what they say.
He says affidavits from neighbors and witnesses will be critical in supporting claims as the process moves through the National Land Agency and other government bodies.
It would simply mean then that there are a number of things that you're going to have to do. Your neighbors and your witnesses will have to say, yes, a long time, say, Miss Bailey did that on the piece of land, and the peg there, but as she lived there is her land. What we have to figure out is where we're going to live if they take the piece that I am on.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness recently extended appreciation to CARICOM for what he describes as an unwavering support after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, one of the most powerful hurricanes to hit Jamaica. In October of 2025, Hurricane Melissa devastated parts of the island, to which countries around the world responded. Now, the Prime Minister, during his address to CARICOM, registered his heartfelt thanks for the people who have fought through tough times in a bid to rise again but stronger. Here are the sentiments expressed by the outgoing CARICOM chairman, who also made full use of the opportunity to say thanks again.
Outgoing chair of CARICOM, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness, while speaking to Caribbean leaders and diplomats, took the time out to give testimony of how the country managed during and after the 2025 catastrophic Hurricane Melissa. A visitor not welcomed to the shores of Jamaica, but nevertheless the impact is still being felt months after.
This was the strongest hurricane that the earth could produce hit Jamaica. And as bad as it was, though, right? You know, God is always looking out for us, because that's the only thing I could say. If not giving us more than we can bear. So he must know what our capacity is.
Our Prime Minister all too happy and proud to speak of the resilience of the Jamaican spirit, as well as the relief efforts and the government's response for its people. Heartwarming, though, the spoken words of many Jamaicans who understood things could have been far worse.
One young lady who I met in Westmoreland, a video that went viral, she said, "You see my house gone, you see my neighbor, her house gone, my shop gone, but we have life. And we give God thanks for life. We can start again, we can build again."
According to the Prime Minister, the government put on an effective relief effort with focus on humanitarian support and aid from those who could not get the basic necessities of life. The limitations soon exposed, allowing for appreciation to again be deposited.
The JDF was very helpful, but we didn't have enough airlift. Thankfully, the Americans came in and we were able to get heavy lift from them, and other private persons took in their aircrafts as well, and that was very helpful. Many countries came to our aid immediately, including many CARICOM countries. I would say, Minister, I don't want to name and then I leave out any, but almost all CARICOM countries contributed in some way.
Commendation, though, particularly for Guyana, Barbados, and the many others gifting cash or kind, time and labor, building materials, containers, and those that were filled with food and also field materials for critical care.
Gratitude is a must. So we give thanks for our brothers and sisters in CARICOM for coming out and stepping up in the way they have to support us.
These comments are fitting because Melissa is now officially tied as the strongest Atlantic hurricane ever recorded. The 252 wind gust that is described to have shattered every instrument record. The findings published a few days ago, February 25, and it was a catastrophic storm. The full destruction still being measured across Jamaica and the Caribbean. The known fatalities linked to Hurricane Melissa across the Caribbean include 45 in Jamaica, 43 in Haiti, 4 in the Dominican Republic, and 1 in Cuba, for a total of 95 confirmed deaths. The storm affected more than 5 million people across the region, according to the United Nations. For CVM News, I'm Damon Phillips.
Meanwhile, several residents in Westmoreland who were dealt a severe blow by Hurricane Melissa were each presented with grants of $500,000. For more on the handing over ceremony in Savannah Lamar by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, here's Crystal Williams.
Speaking at the ceremony, Labour Minister Pernell Charles Jr. said, since the launch of the program, over 2,000 residents in Westmoreland have benefited from $787.55 million under the Restoration of Owner or Occupant Family Shelter Program. The grants have so far been allocated to victims living within Eastern, Central, and Western Westmoreland.
Westmoreland residents displaced by Hurricane Melissa still recall how terrifying the Category 5 system was.
It was so bad because I stand up and look, see the ball fly through the top and drop over the gully. And everything in my house, like bed, furniture, everything is out by the door. It tear off the whole of my house, top.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security through the Roofs program is offering support to residents displaced by Melissa in these 3 tiers: minor, major and severe damage, to ensure equity and responsiveness to the level of loss experienced by each household. 827 households with severe damage will receive $5,000 each. This equates to 413.5 million Jamaican dollars. 1,844 households with major damage will get $200,000 each. This amounts to a total of $368.8 million Jamaican dollars. 70 households with minor damage received prepaid cards worth $75,000 each. That total accounts for $5.25 million Jamaican dollars. Minister of Labor and Social Security Pernell Charles Jr. says that the government remains committed to reaching families in a timely and transparent manner.
We want you to build forward stronger. And I know that there has been a cry for everything to happen quickly. And I know that there are some who are listening who are in very, very serious situations and would want the help right now. I want you to understand that we're working hard.
Member of Parliament for Eastern Westmoreland, Dr. Dayton Campbell says since the hurricane made landfall in his constituency, this is possibly the most significant help received so far. He is urging the parish council and constituents to work together on resilient reconstruction rather than returning to the vulnerabilities of the past, such as board structures.
I think that is the reason why we were more vulnerable to begin with, because of the high percentage of board houses. And a Category 5 hurricane, board houses are not going to be able to withstand those winds. So I have been encouraging persons as much as possible that we should try and move towards concrete structures that at least can withstand a Category 4.
Residents of Westmoreland are grateful for the government's assistance.
I'm overwhelmed. I received this as a widow, and I give God thanks.
Thank God for the grant and everybody.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
Welcome back. Time now for regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. There was a high attendance at the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government. More from TTT News.
CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Terence Drew, has described the recently concluded 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government as a success. At the closing media conference, Mr. Drew said 20 out of 21 members attended this year's meeting.
This 50th regular meeting was a resounding success in many ways. We had full participation from every state and associate member, and we were able to deliberate and finalize a number of issues.
He explained that several key areas were discussed, including the CARICOM single market and the economy.
Heads of government approved recommendations for the inclusion of approved categories of aviation personnel, aircraft maintenance engineers, professional pilots, air traffic controllers, flight operations officers, and the additional professions in the category of aviation personnel.
Meanwhile, farther afield, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, says it has launched another wave of strikes on Tehran, while Iranian officials say at least 153 people, including children, were killed after a reported strike hit a school. More from the BBC.
Even amidst the heaviest US airstrikes seen in decades, they came out in huge numbers. Regime supporters on the streets of Tehran, mourning the death of the man who had been Iran's supreme leader longer than many will have been alive. This was the compound of Ali Khamenei, the 86-year-old cleric, utterly destroyed. He may have been frail, here in one of his last public appearances, but he was the embodiment of the Islamic Republic. The central figure in this repressive regime, but not its sole source of power. At first, Iran claimed he had survived, but in the early hours of this morning, this announcement on state TV. Imam Khamenei drank the sweet, pure draught of martyrdom and joined the supreme heavenly kingdom, the newsreader says.
Come with us now as we reset the story we shared with you years ago on Inspire Jamaica to fill you in on our plan moving forward.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
What's up, Inspire Jamaica? It's your girl, Nadia Watson.
She was among the first children to be featured when the program started in 2011. So far, nothing has proven too challenging for 4-year-old Nadia Watson. Here she stands, not as tall in stature as her peers on graduation day, but she's thrilled to perform for parents and loved ones. Of equal significance is the certificate she was presented with, marking another chapter of her life. Perhaps too young to be deterred by her deformities, Nadia created history at her school's sports day when she literally outsprinted her classmates, leaving even her mother baffled.
When her teacher told me that Nadia will be running too, I was very, very shocked to hear that. She came first and second. Everybody was asking me if the other kids were running on their knees. So I told them no, they weren't. So everybody was amazed and is still amazed at what Nadia is doing.
The little miss, who is also eager to learn to swim and learn ballet, also shows off a few dance moves of her own, even if the accompanying music is in someone else's head. Her mother ensures always that even at play, she doesn't do anything that would be detrimental to her limbs, like playing with a ball which has obviously outdone its time, but which she finds hard to throw away. Also, even at knee height, Nadia easily knows how to use her charm, to use even the Inspire Jamaica team as a ladder. Speaking of ladder, Inspire Jamaica is now in revamp mode. Hyperactive is a mild word to describe this child, whose persona overshadows her clubfoot, shortened limb, missing fingers and toes.
When I take Nadia out, it's as if people don't really see her deformities. They see her face, and because she's such a warm and friendly child, if you don't look at her carefully, you really don't see that she has deformities. Because her smile and her warmth just covers everything.
Realistically though, Michelle still wants to give her daughter a chance to walk, and the stakes are very high.
The foot that has 2 toes on it, and that one she would need to get a prosthetic leg.
The initial plan is to amputate the toes, while a tendon release and transfer would do good for the other leg, to allow her to be able to stand properly. Procedures to be done overseas at $36,000 US.
What about her hands? No, I'm not going to trouble her hands because she uses them quite well. She writes, she does everything with those normally.
Because of Nadia, Miss